by birth, family but not by DNA. Dave and Adam are two of a kind, and they wanna borrow some of your day to talk into your ear holes about midi-chlorians and roller coasters. Those two things are unrelated, but so are they. They're unrelated at birth, like most people who aren't related. Unrelated at birth, but they're brothers in a brotherly way. Now it's time for the phenomenal brother and the golden voice of the South. They're brothers from different mothers, but they're both really proud to be unrelated at birth.
For some reason, I don't know what's going on. Kary?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, can you see us? Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, there we are.
I see everybody.
Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I got you. Sorry, y'all. Adam normally does this, and I'm not used to doing this thing.
Yeah, your transition was terrible.
I'm sorry. I'm not a transition guy. That's Adam's thing. Oh, hey, you had to type ear holes, even though you could have just said ear holes, dude.
It's tradition.
Tradition? Well, we kind of don't have a tradition because Adam's not here.
Then we have a tradition.
I have water.
Started a tradition. I have some strawberry lemonade. How about that?
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
That sounds good.
Jeffrey Martin, Dave shaved and looked like a big toddler. I still have the beard.
No.
It's just not as predominant. I mean,
All the gray was getting to you.
all the gray was getting to.
You know why?
Because I turned 40
That's right.
next Monday.
Me 4-0, you old man.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all hang out with me. So what can I say?
We do it for the kids.
You do it for what?
They do it for the kids.
Yes.
That's the only reason, really.
And me. And me.
Oh, and Amanda, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So why don't we all go around the room and introduce each other? I am Dave Adams, the golden voice of the South, the human jukebox. I haven't really done the whole intro yet. This is my beautiful wife,
The better Adams, man.
the one that puts up with me.
Double A.
Double A. Yes, you will learn why here in a second. My name is Dave. That is Amanda, double A. Uncle Kary, go ahead.
Oh, I'm Kary. Loney, my last name. I'm Uncle Kary. I'm the single friend that just hangs out here and with two families and keeps up to date with the Rugrats.
You're Ted Mosby of our group.
Yeah, that's me. I'll find my something pumpkin at some point.
So,
No, you're
fun fact. Fun fact. How much for fun fact?
okay.
If I'm not mistaken, Ted dates 58 women across the 9 years through How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, I gotta
Really?
wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you?
Just carry on. Keep going.
Okay.
Those are girls, Kary.
Yeah. Okay. So who is this below us? We know Turbo.
For the right one, right one.
White one, right one.
Why gotta be a white one, Kary?
Sorry, I've been at work all day.
Okay. Below us, you know Turbo. Turbo's been the game meister. But Turbo, go ahead and introduce your better half.
This is my better half, Amanda.
The other Amanda.
The other
The
Amanda.
other, I mean,
So, all right. So we are here to talk about our Disney trip that was a couple of weeks ago. The reason you don't see Adam here is because we are talking Disney. And anytime we talk Disney on the podcast, Adam has to either, excuse himself or I don't know, just not talk about it. So we decided to take over the whole thing. And you've got me tonight. Unfortunately, you do not have the phenomenal brother, but you do have the golden voice of the South, the human jukebox, and everybody else. We got Turbo. We need to get you a name, Kary.
I'm the Luke Bryan, right?
You are Luke Bryan. You are
Uncle Kary.
Uncle Kary.
okay. All right. So we are going to go ahead and start recording the podcast. So, gentlemen and ladies, if you could get ready, because here we go. Let's see if I can do this in one shot. You ready? Hold up. Got to.
I'm holding on.
No, it's kind of.
Oh, hey, Jeffrey Martin says, "No, you're Eric Church."
Ooh.
No.
I need some aviators for that, though, right?
No, but the goof up last week, Jeffrey thought that Eric Church was Luke Bryan. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Like, are we?
It's off to a great start.
You know how he loves to be interrupted in.
In 3, 2, 1. And welcome everybody into another great and amazing Unrelated at Birth. As always, you've got the one, the only, the golden voice of the South, the human jukebox, Dave Adams, coming to you live and in living color from the top of the state of Alabama. That's right, in Madison, Alabama, in the Unrelated at Birth podcast studios. And we're doing something different this week, guys and gals. I don't have the phenomenal brother, Adam Joseph Russell, with us, but I have brought some other friends along. My beautiful wife, Amanda.
Hey there. So I was just thinking somebody needs to turn the jukebox down. You scared me a little bit there when you got started.
The jukebox never gets turned down.
Oh.
I have brought along, y'all have heard Kary. Kary, you can say hi. You're unmuted.
Oh, I'm allowed to talk now. Okay. Oh, yeah, you did unmute me. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Kary. This is me talking now. You can
Ear holes.
Ear holes. There, it's official. You didn't use anybody's middle name, so it's not an official podcast.
I did say Adam Joseph Russell earlier.
Oh, but was that during the show or?
Yes, it was.
Recording?
It was during the show.
Are you sure? Because I wasn't.
I'm hot.
Okay, so it's official. It's official.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Your middle name?
Not sure.
The Disney secret.
Oh, it was a Disney secret. Sorry.
No, it's, what do you do for work? Please.
Wait, what?
What do you do for work? Please.
Yeah, please. I'm like Barney Stinson. You'll never know.
Yep. Although we do find out later. And under Kary and I, you do see Turbo and his beautiful bride, the other Amanda Terry. We are here to talk about the Disney trip that happened a couple of weeks ago. We've talked about it on the live earlier. We'll talk about it here. The reason Adam is not here is because we are talking Disney, and since he does work for the mouse, we try not to mix business and Disney opinions and all that stuff. So we're going to go, and I'm going to attempt to do something. Kary doesn't believe me. I'm just going to attempt to facilitate tonight. If you want to hear my trip report, you could go to the Top of the World podcast, which came out a couple weeks ago with me and Terry Weaver. But we want to hear from Kary and Amanda and Eric, because they don't get to go much. So, as always, Amanda, do you want to start and say?
I don't get to go often.
Well, you go along.
So are you saying you take trips without her? Like you just? Like
I have.
When you say you got to go visit some friends in Tennessee, like one weekend, really you're off to Orlando.
I have been down there without her. She knows that, though.
Yeah, because I'm not doing Halloween Horror Nights, so he goes to that one himself.
Have you actually ever been to Disney without her and not?
Yeah, I have.
When they go for Horror Nights, they also take a day or so at
Oh,
Disney.
See, I always thought you just went to Universal.
Oh, come on, dude. If I am within 40 minutes of the theme park, would I not go to the theme park?
You can't mix both, though, right? That's like mixing, like food. You can't mix Mexican with continental.
Yes, you
It
can.
does.
Food gets eaten regardless.
And
Speaking
we
of
don't.
As you will learn from this trip report, food gets eaten.
Speaking of food, we can talk about the best food and the worst food. They kind of bookend the whole trip.
Hey, now, okay.
The food was not bad.
The food.
The
was-
food wasn't bad.
We'll get there.
Great.
We'll get there.
It wasn't great.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Don't exit out of this show yet.
That's called foreshadowing, everybody.
I thought we agreed we weren't talking about that, guys.
So let's let the Amandas talk about the planning part.
Oh, wait,
Because what?
you plan.
That's what I was thinking. What planning?
No, there were a couple of resorts that we went through. Didn't we think about going to the
Well, we started out. Gosh, I don't even remember.
treehouse?
Oh yeah, at Saratoga Springs with the treehouse because there's 9 of us on this trip. Dave, myself, our 2 children, Amanda, Eric, their 2 children, and Kary. So there were 9 of us, so we needed a big space. So we started out. We were going to do Saratoga Springs, but then having a balcony with the animals was on my bucket list. So we ended up in a 2-bedroom villa at Kidani Village, an Animal Kingdom lodge. With a savannah.
So we'll get there because we got to talk about what we did before we saw the room.
Well, then why don't you just go ahead and lead us, Dave? Since you
Okay, fine. We got there early. Look.
You know, even up like the flights and things like that.
Well, that's what we're about to talk about.
Okay.
Dave wanted to drive.
And Dave's
with 4 kids.
with 4 kids through the middle of the night.
In a 15-passenger van.
How awesome of a trip would that have been, though?
Not my definition of awesome.
Let me just put it this way too. You were going to be singing probably musicals the whole way too.
and you know the fever pitch that was hit on Thursday or Wednesday that would have hit like Monday.
That
It wouldn't have.
hit before we hit Kidani Village.
Yeah, that would have been a long ride for sure.
It would not have been that bad.
But
Let's just agree to disagree and say that we made the right decision by flying.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the night before, though, was a little rough because the night before, Dave and I were doing our cooking class. So we were up late, made some awesome Ohana bread pudding and some pineapple coconut bread. If you haven't checked out some of his other stories about our cooking class, you should totally do that. But prior to said cooking class, we ate Chinese for dinner, and I got food poisoning. So I was up all night long with food poisoning before we get on this airplane. So it was a little rough morning for us, or for me.
Not only that too, but when we originally booked the flights, we thought we were going to be leaving Sunday night and then flying back Thursday like afternoon. And then a month probably before our flights, they changed it up on us, and so we flew out Sunday morning.
But it wasn't bad. 9:30.
Well,
Right.
no, I mean, it was 9:30. Is that what the flight time was?
Yeah.
Yes, that wasn't bad, but I think it allowed a cool thing to us because we kind of had to switch the trip up a little bit. Originally, we were going to do Springs Thursday before we left, and this allowed us to do Springs Sunday afternoon, evening once we got there.
Because we sure didn't have time to do anything before we left, since that
so-
flight got changed.
So we had to kind
Well-
of switch a little bit.
Yeah. So first thing we need to talk about is this flight. As you know, for those that don't know, Eric was adamant that he would never watch Star Wars. But Eric, what is this that you're watching, sir?
Do you want to understand? Do you want to know how much Star Wars I watched? I did not finish New Hope, by the way, because I couldn't finish it because it was not good.
Or you mute Eric's mic.
Yeah. Agree to disagree, sir.
It was not. It was more of a comedy than any kind of serious sci-fi, any kind of serious movie. I'll give it another chance.
Really, you didn't get to finish it because about 6 minutes into that movie, I think something happened with your son's tablet, and then you were fixing that for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, but it was a 2-hour flight, so I watched a good hour, I would say, of A New Hope.
No, you probably watched about 30 minutes of it. You turned it off. You told me you turned it off when Obi-Wan became one with the Force.
This is not a Star Wars review podcast.
Okay, fine.
But it was not. I want you to throw. I want you to watch along and throw your best movie at me, and I want to discuss it as we go because it was comical. It just wasn't good to me. I don't know what it was. It was very off-putting. It was very. There's a lot of things that could tear it apart. I could tear it apart a bunch of ways, and it's because that movie gets so much hype. It gets so much recognition. There's so much of a following. People that love it are so adamant, and there's some people that never watch it and don't care to watch it. I gave it a chance, and I'm a space guy. I like airplanes. I like all this stuff. I'm a nerd. I'm an engineer, so I enjoy this stuff.
BK, Turbo is 36?
37.
37?
And but Star Wars never. So I'm not 47. So if I was 47, Star Wars is probably the greatest movie of all time to me. But like when I was growing up, me and my dad watched horror movies.
Okay.
Like that's what we watched. We watched Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street at 6, 7, 8 years old.
So what I'm hearing is we need to bring you to Horror Nights.
So I mean, I like that stuff. Now Amanda hates that stuff. And my kids just get frightened over a.
Sounds like a guy's trip to Halloween Horror Nights this year.
You know,
that means I get out of it.
Squirrel with giant teeth. My kids get terrified over. So I mean, but I don't watch that stuff anymore, really. But that's just what I watched growing up. It was more of that type style of movies that I watched, rather than Star Wars. Like my dad didn't care for Star Wars. He never pushed it on me. Never anything like that. I don't know if to this day he's even seen Star Wars.
Okay. All right. So we get to Kidani Village.
We all 9 got to sit together on the phone. That worked out pretty well.
I was actually kind of impressed with that. Frontier, while it's not flying Delta, which I'm a Delta whore, it gets you to point A to point B most of the time on time.
And it's not a 15-passenger van.
Absolutely.
So we get
just fine.
Yep. We get to the airport. It's about a 45-minute wait for the Magical Express to get to Kidani Village. Mm-hmm. We're all tired. We get to Kidani Village. Normally, when we get to a place, no matter how early we get there, our room has always been ready. We get there and the room hadn't been ready. It's not, we don't know what's going on. So we just decided.
Which is fine because they're cleaning extra for COVID. So completely get that it's taking longer to sanitize the rooms.
We get there, throw our luggage with, I forget her name.
Just the bellhop.
The bellhop.
Oh, yeah. Dave has this thing where he has to know people's names and he calls people by their names, which I know it's very nice and very considerate, but it makes me uncomfortable because I know you don't know those people.
They have a name tag.
I get it. It's not it's overused, yeah, but I get it. It's being polite. Dave's a Southern gentleman.
They have a name tag and it's where they're from, so you can have a conversation with them.
No.
Well, if they introduce themselves like, "Hi, my name is so and so. How can I help you?"
Hi.
So how are you? So how are you doing today? I didn't tell you my name. Oh yeah, I have a name tag. I get it. Cool.
Anyway, okay, so we get to Disney Springs, and we eat at what I would consider the best restaurant on property.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Homecoming.
Yeah, definitely my favorite meal of the trip here.
This is your favorite meal?
Yeah. So I mean, you got to keep in mind, I've been to Chef Arts once before, and I got the last time I went, I got the chicken and not waffles. What do they do? Chicken and
donuts.
Yeah, chicken and donuts. And so I had every intention of going down there and doing chicken and donuts again. There it is, the chicken and donuts there. But Double A over there talked me into the Thigh High chicken biscuits, and that was the greatest decision I made the entire week.
I don't know about that because
which is funny because I ended up ordering the chicken and donuts.
I mean, it was it was good.
Yeah. And I told everybody you need to save room for dessert, and I ended up not. But here is the dessert.
Oh, what was that? The hummingbird cake?
Yes.
Yeah,
Hummingbird cake.
hummingbird cake.
It was a dream. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
It was
I'm not a
It has
hummingbird
ice
cake.
cream on it. Yeah. So
The icing's the best part of that thing, though.
What was?
the icing?
The icing, yeah, like the cake was good. I mean, it's I'm gonna use the word everybody hates. It was a good moist cake, but
Moist.
the icing on it's really what hit home on that thing. But yeah, I mean, we were full after that, that's for sure. And it was a hot day that day too.
Oh yeah.
And we
The whole
can't
weekend-
forget.
the whole week was hot. It could be a whole lot worse, but it was hot the whole week.
We can't forget to tell you guys, if you go to Art Smith's, thigh chicken biscuits, solid recommendation. But you also need to get the mac and cheese.
Yes.
Great mac and cheese.
And for the appetizer too, go with the hush puppies. I think we all tore into those hush puppies.
Even the kids ate those. I mean,
What
Kids
was
and-
it? Was it pimento cheese and some kind of
hot
jelly,
Hot-
something?
yeah.
Mix
Hot
it.
pepper jelly.
Oh, the
So
hot
good.
yes.
Yeah, we took the waitresses. Do you know her name, Dave?
I forget her name. No.
We took the waitress's recommendation in mixing those two, and like Amanda said, it was well worth it for sure.
Yep.
And she was probably the waitress we had all week, by the way,
Yes.
too.
Yeah, she was great. And while we were there, right before we ate, the phenomenal brother, Adam Joseph Russell, now it's official because now it's been said, him and his family came and met us and hung out for about 30, 45 minutes while we waited for our table.
And unfortunately, Ellie was asleep.
She was.
She was passed out.
Yeah, she had a long day already.
Yep. So she didn't get to hang out with Emma, which was sad for her. But anyway, so do y'all want to talk about the world of Disney or anything like that, or do y'all want to just get on into the fiasco that was the room?
Yeah.
Well, we picked up a good, sizable load of merch at World of Disney. But what was awesome was the discount. So that was always really, really nice when you have a friend that you travel with that has a DVC membership, and you get a nice little discount off your purchase.
Yeah.
And
Real
so-
quick, Jeffrey said, last time I was there with the party of 5, she said, we wanted to get hush puppies as the appetizer. The waitress said 1 for the table, at which point we said no, 1 for each of us.
I'm with you. I'm
I
right
respect
there
that.
with you, Jeffrey.
I totally respect that.
But yeah, World of Disney, man, that thing, I feel like it gets bigger every time I walk in there. Like that place is just
I think
massive.
it literally has gotten bigger.
With Disney Springs.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so packed when we were there the first time, like 3 years ago.
Mhm.
It was too much. We got like a quarter of the ways through it. Like there was no way we could go any further. It was so packed.
I mean, it was pretty packed when we were there this time, too.
It wasn't. I mean, COVID made it where it wasn't. It was tolerable. I mean, the stores I'm talking about were crowded. On top of being outside, crowded. I mean, they were just letting people in and out. Going in and out everywhere.
Yeah.
And just packed in those stores like there's no like you couldn't push a stroller through there. It was so packed.
Which we did plenty of that.
Well, kind of.
I pushed the stroller around.
I mean,
A lot.
I carried a 50-pound kid. 60,000 of my 88,000 steps I took.
That's true. What are you doing, Kary? Oh, yeah.
I'm getting here to pick me up.
Hold me. Hold me. Anyway, so let's talk about the room.
I won't be able to do that again, so it was a cherishable moment.
Mm-hmm. Good way to save it, Dad. Double A. Talk
So
about
we-
the room.
So we get to the room. Like I said, it was on my bucket list to stay at the Savannah room. We get there. It's finally ready. It was like 7 o'clock, I think. Maybe even later, really.
4:30, actually.
No, Dave, it was after dinner.
We had early lunch.
This is 5:30, 6 o'clock at this point.
Okay. It felt really late.
No,
been
it
a
was
long
like
day.
4 o'clock when we got seated at.
That was Monday though, babe.
Huh?
We're talking about Sunday still, right?
No, Sunday we got seated. It's like 4 o'clock.
Stayed at Art Smith's till like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
It was 4 o'clock when we sat down at homecoming. We finally got in there.
I'm
Yeah,
not
it
real
was
sure
like
why you
6
feel the
o'clock,
need to look
6:30 by the time we got back to Kadani.
It was a lot later than you think, Dave.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Look
pretty
at
late.
the timestamp on that picture.
Room still wasn't ready.
Okay.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah, room still wasn't ready. So we finally get in
Oh,
the
no,
room
no.
and we rush to the savannah view to see all the giraffes and the zebras. Only to did anybody take a picture of that view?
No.
No, because
I
it was
haven't.
not picture worthy.
Maybe I did.
Only to see a couple of little deer looking things and the fence and the power grid. So we were on the back side of the
service road.
safari view. The what?
The service road.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were on.
As I say, if you've been to Kidani or been to that part of it, it's over by the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, we could see the fence for the pool and some power grids and then some deer looking things with stripes. So it was pretty rough.
Those have a name.
Huh?
Those things have a name. Didn't you ride the safari?
Oh, copy.
Yeah, the copy. Yeah. Oh, Nora told me all about their names. Don't worry. I was educated by Nora Terry on all the animals' names. But yes. So anyway, it was super.
What were you doing, Dave?
disappointing. We could not even see a single giraffe or a zebra, which was my goal, was to sit and eat cereal watching zebras and giraffe, but they could not even get into that part of the safari, or into that part of the savannah. So if you go in your comments when you book a room, you need to request a room looking at the main safari, the main savannah. I mean,
I have been
lesson learned.
I've been told that I did not listen to Terry Weaver when I was booking the room, and so apparently it was my bad. So I apologize. Also, in the Kidani village, there's a bunch of sayings on the wall, and if you ever travel with Kary Loney,
That's me.
you will never forget the sayings on the wall.
Do you remember any of them?
You gotta make little tidbit moments special about things. No, I couldn't remember any of them at this point. But like a week later, I might have still remembered them. But you got to do like little tidbits and things to keep people on their toes and make sure they're paying attention and not running into walls and things like that. So you come up with stuff. Yeah, read the sayings along the walls, the little quotes and things they come up with. Keeps it fun.
But after we go and come back and go and come back and go and come back, the same quotes, the same places, the same elevator.
I fully expected to hear Kary say, "In the northern part of my country, Nigeria."
Oh my goodness.
That's a wrestling thing. Well, that's not a wrestling thing.
This one was TikTok.
An old TikTok.
It's like tiki talk. But anyway, so
Wait, speaking of the halls though, and stuff, I gotta say, one of my favorite parts of the trip, my best memories, is the day that we were sitting there, coming in our room, and the lady from across the hall was coming in her room in her scooter, and she floored it to swing into her room and absolutely took out the door frame. Oh, that was a good memory.
No speed limits in there with all those creative quotes they do.
Yeah.
yes. So the first day we go to Animal Kingdom, we decided to attack the closest theme park on Monday.
It was really crowded there.
It was. I will say a lot of what Disney has done for the pandemic in 3 of the parks are great. But what they have done at Animal Kingdom is not great.
I don't think they could get around it though. I mean,
I was going to agree with you. I think as small as it is.
Yeah, it's kind of, they weave in and out already, and the walkways are half the size of every other park. So I mean, bringing those lines out there, the walkways really doesn't do. And there's no other way they could do it to spread things out. But honestly, do I think it was ever even needed in that regards? But I mean, they kept a good enough social distancing, but for what it was worth, there's still people stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Ride queues aren't large enough as it is for Animal Kingdom. So to have to space things out, I mean, for us to be in queue all the way back to Nemo for what were we riding there.
Everest.
Everest, yeah. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous just in that sense because the queue's not large enough as it is, like some of the other parks' queues. But like I said, Animal Kingdom's a small enough park as it is. So I think that kind of explains the crowdedness a little bit better than some of the other parks.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily that it was, the numbers were larger than any of the other parks the rest of the trip. I think it's just we were in a smaller park.
Yeah.
But,
I'll say that.
But so we go, the first ride we go to is Everest. And so.
Best way to kick the day off.
Yeah, it also is the best way to kick the day off for a kid that's been on a Carnival roller coaster for his next ride. His next roller coaster to ever ride is Everest. And he's scared.
No preparation given with the surprise moment in that ride and all of that stuff.
Ride one time. He showed that.
Yeah.
He ride it one time and scare himself pantsless. And he will be scared to death and never ride again, never even talk about it again.
It was absolutely awesome. Now, we were all excited about it. Of course, AA doesn't ride roller coasters. So she set out with Harper because Harper wasn't tall enough to ride this one. But hearing Nora and James's reaction to Everest was hilarious. Get Ellie, who is scared of dark rides, but loves thrill rides. So to get Ellie just jumping up and down once she gets off of it. And then you hear James.
When you have crying.
Yeah. Snow drilling, like just he is pouring tears the entire time. But like
it was good until we got to that part of the ride, though. I think
it was fine until we went backwards.
I try not to spoil it for people.
Well, no, it's fine. I mean, if you're listening to this, there will be spoilers on rides because we've got to talk about that one ride.
Well, the rides have been there for 10 years. If you've not read it yet, and you're just if you've been planning for 10 years to ride these rides, over yourself. I mean,
but yeah, James felt like he was good until we went backwards, and then it was all hell broke loose at that point.
Yeah.
But I mean, he did the same thing on Slinky Dog, so let's not get over that. He did the same thing on Slinky Dog. It just is how he does, how he is. But I think he thoroughly enjoys it in the moment, or even to the point afterwards. Because 2 minutes later he was fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Off, and we got he was fine. Like I think he'll grow in that regards. He would get on every other ride though, and he cried he could get on Rock and Roller Coaster. Could you imagine him after Rock and Roller Coaster?
Oh gosh!
We'll say he gets the Braveness Award for the week because he went after everything that he could and was even ticked off when he couldn't get on something. So
and he even did Tower of Terror too, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, like I said, I think Everest was a good first ride of the day, and that kind of got everybody's blood pumping a little bit. And then I think we went to the safari after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
which is my favorite ride in the whole park. I love the safari. And I really like to go to one of the first things in the morning because that's when the animals are first coming out. It's when they feed them and let them out, so you get to see a lot more animals. I feel like better experiences with animals on the safari. But also I do want to go back while y'all were riding Everest. Harper and I went to the amphitheater where they do the show in the evenings, and we sat there for a while. And they have the little cavalcades on pontoon boats come through, so we got to see Launchpad and Goofy and Mickey. So we saw several characters there while we were waiting on them to get on Everest. So that's a great spot to go sit and rest and see some characters come by.
And Rafiki is the best character. Oh, Launchpad
McQuack.
Yeah,
be one of the best ones too.
Yeah, agreed.
That's a good tip for the non-roller coaster riders. Good job, AA.
Yeah, gotta look out for my people.
So, what's y'all's thoughts on? Is this the first time y'all had done the safari?
It's not my first time. No.
This is the first time I went to all the parks. The third time I've been to Magic Kingdom. The first time I've been to Animal Kingdom. First time I've been to Epcot. First time I've been to Hollywood Studios.
All right. Well, Amanda, you've been quiet during a lot of this, so why don't you tell us your thoughts on the safari here?
Well, Our
Put you on the
was
spot.
telling everybody.
No,
Our daughter was giving the commentary for the entire. So, I mean,
that's not, my job was wrangling little toddlers to not fall out of the safari truck. So
Very true. Because Harper and James have to sit next to each other on every ride.
Because they're married.
Because they're basically married already.
You need to find a picture of them and put up.
I will. That's Magic Kingdom Day.
Mm.
So, so did you get to see any of the animals, or did you get to hear Nora talking about?
yes, I did. I just don't remember a lot of it, honestly. That was my mental capacity that day.
Yeah.
On the ride. But Flight of Passage, when you get to that was my jam. So
Okay. Well, we ate at what's that place?
Santuli.
Santuli Canteen. Introduced them. Do what?
Which is right outside the passage.
Flight of Passage. Yeah. We got to introduce them to the cheeseburger pods.
I got tips for that when we're ready.
We didn't
Go ahead.
weird.
As I say, I don't think everybody had cheeseburger pods, but if you're going to go with the cheeseburger pods, and I've been told it tastes like a McDonald's hamburger, and while that's a good observation, to me it tastes like a Crystal's hamburger or White Castle for our northern friends.
Don't you know?
Don't you know? But if you take that and then put a little bit of mustard on it, that to me is the way to have the cheeseburger pod. It was good. Now, I don't care for their what was it? Their slaw. Yeah,
it's not.
I was out on that. So if you can go no slaw, maybe that was kind of the way to go there. But yeah, it was a good place to eat. I enjoyed it. I had their specialty drink too. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got orange juice and some other stuff in it. And it's super refreshing and not super expensive if you don't get it in the $27 souvenir cup. So.
My favorite way to have the cheeseburger pods is to not have them. They were okay, but I've had their bowls that had like the potato hash with the shrimp or the grilled chicken, and it was much better.
Yeah,
I think that's what you guys had, right?
I think we were just trying to say, what did we have? I had one of the bowls and their beef. It might even have that chimichurri sauce on it or something similar to that. It was really good. And Eric did something like noodles as his base and chicken.
That was upset stomach time for Eric, if I remember.
Yeah.
That heat was getting to him, for sure.
Yeah, it was hot. And now, if you've never been to Animal Kingdom is the hottest park of all four of them because of the foliage. So plan wisely. We did not. We all had to wear matching shirts because
They did not match.
They were themed.
Coordinated. That's
Themed
right.
and coordinated. I like that. They were all
That's
Lion
right.
King coordinated.
Yeah.
So show the picture.
Yours
Give us
was the
all,
best.
Have a picture?
I got to find it. Give me a second.
all in our
Oh, he
coordinated.
wasn't ready for that picture. He has all our other ones queued up.
While you're trying to find it, here's a list of rides we rode. We rode the Flight of Passage, Expedition Everest, Triceratops Spin,
Yeah.
Navi River Journey, and Kilimanjaro Safaris.
That's it.
That's all we rode.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but it
Oh.
was
This is our early day.
But there was
Yeah.
there was a lot of views and sights and scenery though too.
yeah. We did walk around the tree of life a lot. There's our shirts that we all wore.
And to be a fake tree, that is pretty compelling, pretty awesome.
There's got to be a better picture that shows off.
Gigantic fake tree.
There
Okay.
you go.
Okay, man. Double A wants me to show this shirt. Or this
I mean, your
picture.
shirt is the best, Dave.
Yeah.
There's no-
Oh, my shirt was the best. I will say I had a pretty kick-A shirt. There we go.
There it is.
Yes.
So if you
I
can't
don't
see
know.
Dave's shirt there, if you can't zoom in,
I don't think I can.
Timon and Pumbaa on his shirt, and they've each got some grub in their mouth, and his shirt just says "Here for the grub." So I thought I'm going to take
There we
credit that I came up with the idea for the shirt, and of course, Double A came through on the design.
And then of course you've got the kiddos. So, all right. So now we've got to talk about what we ate for dinner that night.
Well,
No, we haven't talked about Flight of Passage yet.
Okay,
Yeah,
take it away. Now, Flight of Passage. I love that ride. It's a great ride. But Flight of Passage, I was corralling a screaming child.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ellie loved Rock and Roller Coaster, Expedition Everest,
Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror. She flips her gourd after she's locked in, strapped in. And of course James is like looking at it, he's like this.
Me and Gary are over there having to reassure James that first off that Dave's not killing Ellie because it was murderous screams. Like, and I don't say that to embarrass her or anything like that. I mean, she was not having it. So me and Eric were having to coax James, like, it's okay, man. Like, we're good. We're not going anywhere. Like, it's a screen. We're good.
For those that are not aware, Ellie struggles with anxiety, really bad, crippling anxiety.
And it got her.
And it got her on this trip.
Yep.
But Amanda and I were not there. We were with the two little kids. Or was it just Harper? We were just Harper.
Nora was with us too.
Okay. So we were with Harper and Nora doing rider swap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and I think this would be a great time. Amanda, you said you love this ride. This is just, to me, this is easily the best ride on property. Like, it is. And you can.
Yeah, he's gone now. That's.
Well, then you're about to cut me off because I agree.
I mean, what's the other best ride on property? There's not a better ride even on Disney property.
Yeah.
Disagree.
We know Rise is great. We'll talk about it soon. But it to me, Flight of Passage just takes it. It's the most immersive experience. It just, there's a point in the ride. I mean, keep in mind, you're stationary. The thing, I call it the old motorcycle game you used to do at Chuck E. Cheese. Like that, it's stationary. It moves a little bit left and right and up and down, but you're not on a track, anything like that. And there's a point in that ride, that experience, where it's like you do a loop over the tree branch and all this kind of stuff, and it feels like you were on a roller coaster doing it because of how they hit.
I don't know how it gets you. It tricks your whole body and your mind. And people who design that, I mean, I could even have the vision. We don't know what's going on in their head to be able to design something like that. Like, it doesn't make sense to me how they can trick your brain to think that you're flying like that. It's
James Cameron, that whole studio for sure.
Yep. So yeah, y'all all love Flight of Passage. It's probably my second favorite ride on property. I will admit, it's great. It's basically soaring on steroids.
So much
ride.
And soaring though.
Yeah, it makes Soarin' look like a carousel.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the vehicle too that has a lot to do with it because it's the way you're seated on the ride vehicle, like Kary said, like the motorcycle style. You're not. It's completely different than anything else. Like, you're not in a roller coaster type cart. You're not in anything else that you have on property.
Yeah,
I'm somebody who suffers from a vertigo condition too. Like, I have an inner ear disorder, and I thought, this is not going to be good for me. I'm going to be all sorts of out of whack. Like, I was worse off on Soarin' than I was on Flight of Passage because it keeps you going the whole time. I mean, you're getting stuff from every direction, and I mean, the effects, the water coming up at you, and all that. I mean, it's amazing. Hands down, the best experience.
That part was the whale. Like, they love. Like Nora, just that's all she talked about for. Like, she came out just. Like, after she wrote it, it was just. Her mind was blown. And I think James loved that ride too. I mean, after he wrote it, he was just like he was just like this. He was like, oh my gosh, like, it was so wonderful. It was so great.
Do not miss that ride. It will have the longest line of the day at Animal Kingdom. For anybody who doesn't go or hasn't been or is going to go again, I mean, I think a lot of people can agree it is the can't miss ride at Animal Kingdom, and for me, the can't miss ride of your Disney trip.
Yep.
Well, she didn't just come out of the ride like that. She chattered like that the whole ride. I got off the ride and I told Amanda, I said, I don't think she took a breath that whole ride. Like, the whole time she's like, Mama, look at this. Oh my goodness, the wow. Like, just
I mean,
not
she
even
gets
nothing.
so you know.
Yeah. So we leave Animal Kingdom and we go back to the resort for a little bit. We chill at the pool.
Hakuna Coladas, baby.
Yes. Kary.
Pina coladas.
No.
Hey,
Yeah. Amanda chugged down a couple of Hakuna Coladas.
Not me, the other man.
You're double A.
Oh, they don't know that.
hey, I mean, we're on vacation, right?
Exactly.
Hey, I'm on vacation.
Hard.
Look,
got to
that
practice
picture
swimming.
tells you everything you need to know. I was relaxed, chill as a pill, like good to go. So
Yep.
we're on vacation at that point. But hey, you know, I like that little splash pad pool area bar. Like that's a nice little area, especially if you're not like if you're doing a 6 or 7 day there and there's a day or two you don't want to go to the park, you can just hang out there and chill all day. You're good to go.
So here's my question. That is a really cool piece of, pool area and all that. What stops you if you're staying at a budget place just to come hang out at the pool there? Nobody's saying to us that we're staying there.
You can't park. They check you for parking.
There's this nice little train system they got and a car system.
It is absolutely almost impossible to go from resort to resort. I mean, you've got to go from your resort to a park to wait for that bus to get there and be in a swimsuit the whole time. So if you're going to try to do it that way, it's very tough to pool hop.
Challenge accepted.
I mean, if you're hanging all day, I mean, there's bathrooms, there's
Food, drinks,
there's drinks. I mean,
animals.
and you can make it a day trip out there. Do that.
You could. You definitely could. All right. So we talk about the pool, but now we've got to talk about my favorite part of Monday night.
Uber. Why couldn't you just Uber?
You could. But now let's talk about
Problem solved.
Monday night.
Next time we go and we stay, if we go stay at Kidani Village again, let's just eat here every night.
Yeah.
I am okay with that. Y'all, let's talk some bread service.
You can't get around that. You couldn't. Like, there's not a better plate appetizer. Like, you can make this your meal and be satisfied.
No, I love the meal though. I mean,
But
that was my meal. I've been looking for copycat recipes of that since the day we left. I have a friend that's from
curry
India.
is so hard to do though.
Do what?
Curry is so hard to do.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so many spices.
I have a friend from India at work, and he sent me a recipe for the curry. We're just gonna have to go back. It's got like 9,000 ingredients.
I will say,
your eyes will be burning. Your house will rock it for days.
I will say, and here's my plug that I don't normally do plugs for in the middle of a show. The WDW couple this weekend, their copycat recipe cook along is naan and their bread service.
We will not get to 10 because Dave is dragging us all to a wrestling show in Huntsville, Alabama. But
We could videotape it. We could do it again tonight.
it's true.
I mean, I have signed up to get the recipe.
I guess you don't videotape things these days. You probably just go look up
Record.
eat somewhere.
Yeah, but
I would think anybody that's probably watching along with us, like they probably saw some of those pictures Dave put up a second ago, and in Indian food and African food may scare some people off, but to be perfectly honest, like I think there's something on the menu for everybody. Like I know Dave's not the most adventurous person with food. He sticks to his Southern foods and his Southern
Chicken
food
and rice.
and his Southern foods.
I got Mexican food in there and Japanese food.
You eat chicken and rice. But
Chicken and rice.
But what I'm saying is, I mean, you can get that as your meal at
And you did.
Tanah, and you did. So there's something for everybody. But the bread service is a can't miss. I really think we could have got 3 portions or 3 servings of it, and probably still would have ate all of it.
We got 2 and
You
ate all of it.
You don't get loaded down. You don't get that carby feeling. They do a really good job with the naan and everything like that. And to try all the spices, it was very, very good, a cool experience, and definitely a can't miss. Again, if you're planning a trip, you don't have to stay at Kidani to go to Sanaa, but you better make sure that you're getting your reservations in, especially now with the pandemic stuff still. But it
Yeah, remember the guy who just showed up at 8:30, said, "I want to eat." I just laughed at him.
They said, no.
No, sir, you can't just eat here. Like, I mean, yeah, I want to eat. No, you just can't. You need a reservation.
Also, Amanda, can we get a recommendation for the spicy margarita?
Ooh.
As a thumbs down. Well, it had nothing sweet to it. Like, I think all of those drinks need a little something sweet to them, and that was like biting into a poblano pepper. I mean, it was not enjoyable.
Poblanos aren't that spicy.
Well,
That drink was spicy.
But the
I like spicy food too, so
the colada, like what was that?
Lava colada.
Lava colada. Now that was good.
I had the watermelon margarita. It was very good.
I reordered the watermelon margarita, and it wasn't.
I had the smoked bourbon drink they do.
Yep.
It was good. It was a little too grenadine was used in mine, too much. But I mean, the drink was still good, and I really enjoyed Sanaa. Especially, we had a large party that they took care of. They were able to get us catered to. But yeah, it was a neat experience. Neat trying different foods, get the palate, trying a few different things, and the food set well too. So that was another good thing. I was worried like, "Ooh, tomorrow might be bad," but we were good. We were good.
And I even had, what I had. I don't know what I had. It was something with, what was it? It had rice and chicken and curry. It was a bowl thing, but it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't super spicy. It was very
great.
I think me and Amanda, Terry, we did the seafood one. And yeah, it was good. So
yep.
And we did the braised beef.
Braised beef for you guys. Yeah, definitely recommend. The kids, they had easy stuff too, pizzas. And
Well, I think one day they didn't even eat their dinner. They went to bed.
Yeah. I took all of them back up to the room before dessert came even, and they just crashed.
But you can also get Sanaa to go right now. They're doing a mobile order, Sanaa to go. So if you go and you didn't get reservations, but you still want to pick it up to go, including the bread service, you can order it on your phone and pick it up.
I think too, even if you don't even want to have dinner, you can just go and sit at the bar and have bread service, I think.
Sounds like a plan to me.
I would highly recommend trying to, if you can get the same bread, like all the breads weren't great. There were 2 breads that were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just regular naan, and then the red pepper, kind of the roasted red pepper spread one. Yeah, those 2 were amazing.
Watching
they can leave that wheat bread.
The one that looked like a paper bag. You can get that.
Yeah. Watching Ellie bite into that red pepper bread, the first was pretty humorous. So her eyes got real big real quick. So,
and she actually does like spice. No, it's Harper that likes spicy food. Mm-hmm. Sorry, wrong kid. So the next day we got Magic Kingdom. Do y'all have any need to talk about with Magic Kingdoms? Because I do have to show this picture.
Sweet baby.
We talked about how Harper and Ellie are Harper and James are basically a married couple. There you go.
Sweet babies. They wanted to ride together on just about every ride.
Go ahead and say the I do's.
Yeah.
I'd rather be best friends and take care of each other than be married right now. So let's just.
I'm okay with that too.
Sure.
They do want to have a sleepover, so.
No.
Yeah, they can't do that. There's the Haunted Mansion.
I think it was cool. I mean, we rewrote pretty much everything we wanted to. I think the only things we really missed were
the Nutella waffle.
I thought
that's the highlight, right, of the day.
So
let me find it.
So at Disney or at Magic Kingdom, we rode the Barnstormer, Buzz Lightyear.
Wait, you wrote all this stuff down?
Yeah. Dumbo, Flying Elephants, the Haunted Mansion, It's a Small World, Jungle Cruise, Mad Tea Party, Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Mickey's Fillmore Magic, Pirates of the Caribbean, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Space Mountain, and that's it.
That's a
I mean, we
pretty
were-
full day.
I have this question for Dave. In all of your Disney times, how many times can you say that the first ride that you rode in Magic Kingdom was Jungle Cruise?
None,
Never.
except for this one time.
But I thought it was a fun way to start the day.
I think
And
if
it
we
was a
went
smart way.
later on, that dude would not have been as funny.
No, he wouldn't have.
He was
and
on point that morning. He was cheerful and ready to go. Like, I mean, his one-liners were spot on.
And the wait time jumped up high for that ride. It was around 80 minutes most of the day. So we walked right on it. That was the smart move for us to
We
go
walked on
left.
that one, and then we walked on Pirates right after.
Yeah, it was about a 15-minute wait for Pirates.
And of
Don't
course,
take my play toy away.
Give me this. You're
and
dropping
of
something.
course, James has to have a sword, so we kept it with a sword the entire day.
Yeah.
He was the pirate.
He also got a
didn't-
lightsaber. He got a thing for swords. I don't know.
For
We
us,
didn't-
to do as much in the middle of that park or the backside, kind of however you want to say it there, to spend a lot of time in Fantasyland, Storybook Village, we were able to knock everything out over in that area pretty quick.
Yep.
I think the only thing I set out on was the teacups. I don't do spinny things like that. Though I do make up for it the next day with riding Alien Swirling Saucer. But
You're not going to call it the other thing.
really the only thing I think the questionable moment was when Amanda was a little nervous about James getting on Space Mountain.
100%.
Oh man, that was
Like pace wherever the ride drops off when you get off at the end. I stood out there the entire time just pacing.
So. Did you see that picture? You have that picture you can show of us on Space Mountain?
There
Give me a
should be
second.
one with me, Eric, and yeah.
It's coming.
Let's just say this: like, we are not small men by any means. These Space Mountain cars are a little.
He didn't cry on that one. He was fine.
Yeah, I heard him screaming.
Yeah, there were some screams that came out. Oh yeah, we can talk about who won Buzz Lightyear.
I was gonna say, but Kary struggled with Space Mountain a little bit. You got yourself in a little precarious situation afterwards.
I did the heat and I think my vertigo a little bit, and the fact that we were going like
Yeah.
we were chugging through.
88,000 steps on my pedometer. Like 88,000 steps in less than 4 days.
We were
That's crazy.
We were chugging through Magic Kingdom, and I thought we were all staying pretty hydrated well and things like that. But I think the heat finally and just kind of the kind of rush of it all got me. So I came off of it and kind of had a little bit of a mini panic attack. Don't know why. It just happened. That I think with the little bit of maybe lack of sugar that day. I'm not diabetic by any means, but if you don't keep it up with your food intake and water intake. So I chugged a Powerade and felt fine after that. I can't remember what we even went and did after that.
We did that Buzz Lightyear was right after that.
Yeah, so I almost died, and then I beat all of you in Buzz Lightyear. So
Yeah, shut up.
We saw a Stitch.
Yeah, we saw Stitch too.
Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, they were both right there. So that was pretty cool. Sitting down for a minute, it was good. But yeah, Buzz Lightyear was fun. I love the Space Ranger spin. It's one of the must-do things at Magic Kingdom. It's a great way to get the heat.
Toy Story one better than I did that one. And they're both Toy Story, but the Toy Story Mania
Mhm.
I thought was better. I thought better than the Buzz Lightyear spin, but
I like the one that I won.
I mean,
Yeah. I don't want.
Because I won Toy Story. Just had to throw that out there.
Look, that's the first time in years that you've
Show
won
them
Toy
the
Story.
The Harper James ice
Okay,
cream.
give me a second. I'm
Yeah, ice cream. Oh, this is the first time I had a Dole Whip too.
oh yeah, that was good by the way. The Dole Whip
we're
was
getting there.
Must do. Dave had his Mickey pretzel with plastic cheese.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's Buzz. Yeah,
So we saw Buzz, James
That's
saw
that.
Stitch.
the best hat all week.
that's as close as he'll get to him. By the way,
Yep.
he's gonna keep his distance.
Got his sword ready.
There it is.
Yeah. And then we got to see the cavalcades.
We did see a few princesses.
That was probably the best cavalcade there.
Yep. And then we get the best stuff ever.
Put that
On a trash can.
Yeah, you did.
What?
Dave ate his pretzel on a trash can.
You have to. That's what you do at Disney. That's
And
how
I ate
you
my
eat.
entire cup of cheese, so it was disgusting.
thing.
That thing is awesome. So there's the happy
Double trouble.
double trouble there. There's the other double trouble. So notice the little kids are in the
Double stroller.
double stroller,
Yeah.
and the big kids, which that was the heaviest thing to push around with those two in there.
I mean, that was like 150 pounds at least, right?
Yes, easily.
A little tough on the turns.
This picture of James coming up is the best with the ice cream.
You know, I have pictures of him on the cruise the first year. They're just every time he's out that, just all over him like that. That's how he eats them. If he can't eat them, he doesn't want one.
Shout out to Double A for hooking us up with awesome shirts that day as well.
Thank you.
Except me.
Because he refused to wear one.
Yeah, you are wearing that one, aren't you? Okay. So now we get to talk about the best day ever.
Hey, real quick too, before we get completely off of that, I know a lot of slack's given to Cosmic Rays, but that wasn't too bad of a meal.
No, I was actually kind of half impressed with it this time.
I know it's kind of the cafeteria of Magic Kingdom, but it was pretty good.
What did we do after Magic Kingdom?
We just went home and
But
ate.
we DoorDashed food from Disney Springs.
Oh, from
Yeah, Earl Sandwich.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
And if you're there, holiday sandwich is the way to go.
Yeah.
Just
I didn't have that, but I don't know what I had. I don't know. I don't remember what I had. I just remember that was a very forgetful meal.
well, I mean, we just did a quick service. Yeah.
It was
So-
good Thanksgiving meal.
You had to get to bed to get up early the next day.
Yeah. So we had to be in the living room at 6:45. We had 4 phones going. Double A, I think it's time we tell everybody on the Unrelated Birth listener group the trick to getting a boarding pass.
So we won't be able to get it in the future.
Well,
Unless we're taking a
Okay.
group of 900 of us to.
Even then, we couldn't get it.
So to be able, a cast member shared this with us after our failed attempts at getting a boarding pass the first couple of times. But when you have the app up at like 5 till whatever time
7.
there's- well 7 unless you're at the 2 o'clock.
1. Yeah. Okay. Fine. 2 o'clock.
So anyway,
1 o'clock now. Actually.
I have it up on your phone and then pull it down like you're gonna. Where's my phone? Pull it down like you're gonna refresh, and then let go as soon as your clock strikes the hour. We were able to get a boarding group. This is our third time to be able to get a boarding group that way. But we were able to get one pretty early in the day, which really worked out well for us because then it allowed us to knock out a lot of things and be done pretty much by lunch. So
And it was still like 50 something, which is crazy. If you get
That's
right at the thing, is 50 something. I don't know how they have the
56, I think.
server power to do that, but that's phenomenal in a sense. That has that many people are going to be on there and doing the same thing at that exact moment, and the servers are able to catch it. That's what's phenomenal to me.
There's no better feeling on the day that you wake up to do Hollywood Studios as well, to know that you got that in the bag.
Yep.
Because that set the tone, for the morning and kind of being able to know that we're good. We're going to be able to do that. No issues there. So I think that was a nice part of that. So,
minus, 8 p.m. and on that night, even 8 p.m. to 9 that night, that was probably the best day because of everything we got to do. I mean, like we walked on to Mickey's Railroad or Mickey's Runaway Railroad. We walked on to it.
yep.
We
30 minutes before the park even officially opened.
I was going to say, so here's my other tip. So we gave you that one tip. Here's the other tip. If you were listening to Top of the World last week, you heard this tip as well. Go to Hollywood Studios and walk in the park about 8:15. The cast members will tell you the rides don't open till 9. but immediately go to Mickey and Minnie's or
Slinky
Tower
Dog.
of Terror or Slinky Dog or something, and you'll basically walk on. We did Mickey and Minnie's and Toy Story Mania, and we rode the
Alien Swirling Saucer, yeah.
that one.
And saucer, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say the other word, but it's a family show. We rode the Alien Swirling Saucers, all pretty much before the park opened.
So I think 9:15 is when we walked off of Alien Swirling Saucer.
Yep, and Slinky Dog, once we got done with that, was about a 75-minute wait.
And let's talk about it too. Let's not just cruise by it. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is one of the top attractions when you go to Disney. That blew my mind. That was my first time. Last time I visited the park, it hadn't opened yet. That is an unreal experience in terms of the whole trackless system. It makes me so excited for when Ratatouille opens. Like that trackless system keeps it.
That's the wave of the future for rides. Like,
Absolutely.
Like that trackless system, the way they operate, the way that work, the same with Rise of Resistance, like that type of ride is the new Mickey and Minnie, or I mean the new Winnie the Pooh, the Haunted Mansion, but those type of rides are going to be trackless rides like that eventually, I'm sure, over time.
Yeah.
The run down the road rides we rode at Hollywood would be the Alien Swirling Saucers, Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, Rock and Roller Coaster, Slinky Dog, Toy Story Mania, Tower of Terror, and Rise of the Resistance. So we did knock out a pretty good bit there too.
I think we rode every ride except Star Tours at Hollywood Studios.
Yep.
Well, I mean, there was the show stuff that we didn't see and do.
Yeah,
because it wasn't going.
What's the name of the show that we went to that day that had all the the sing along stuff?
the Philhar Magic.
Was that day?
That was
That
Magic
was
Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom.
No, because there was something on Wednesday we went to that maybe it was Tuesday. Maybe when I died after Space Mountain, my days got discombobulated.
Yeah. Hey, our local Canadians back on the show.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I was disappointed. Love Mickey and Minnie's. Can't wait to go again. Hopefully the pre-show will come back. Yeah, I was disappointed we didn't get to see the pre-show, but knew that was going to happen, so I did watch it before.
Yeah, watch the pre-show if it's not back. If you go. So
Shout out to Minnie's Lunchbox too, because their breakfast is a must-do. That was the first time for me. I got the breakfast tots that they do, and that is a slam dunk.
they're not tots; they're potato barrels.
Potato barrels, whatever. I decided not to go with the gravy. That was probably a good decision. It was hot that day.
We would have seen the gravy later.
Yeah, 100%. Especially since we were going to go have drinks right after.
I was sort of saying nobody's mentioned Olga's Canteen.
Well, we got to make our way around the bend there. So,
It's
hey,
just
Slinky
around the river bend.
That was y'all's first time on Slinky Dog, right, Eric, Amanda? So that was
Part, yeah. So yeah. I mean, Olga's was pretty cool too. I mean, that was just like a kind of a strange little, but like the way they can stay in character and the way they do things, it's pretty awesome. I mean, like I said, I've said this before. The thought of Star Wars is entirely better than Star Wars. If that makes sense.
Oh yes, there's the drink. I had what is this? The I was going to call it the fizzy lifting drink, but this isn't Willy Wonka. Fuzzy Bispin, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Ellie had the it was cotton candy
Jello, basically.
Jello, and
Yeah.
those are Pop Rocks.
Looked like caviar.
And
Yep.
I thought about it. We could have took those drinks home, those cups home with us, and no, they wouldn't have thought about it.
They would have had no clue.
They wouldn't have.
So we were honest Disney goers. Hey, that thing looks awesome. The milk with the cookie and all that.
Yeah, Harper and Ellie split that in the Jello, and then Amanda, Double A, talk to us about your drink.
I forgot the fuzzy
Tauntaun.
Tauntaun. I almost said wonton. The fuzzy tauntaun. Guys, the flavor of the drink is pretty good. The foam does not taste that great, but you better be ready because it felt like a million ants were stinging my lips. I knew that it was supposed to make your lips and your face numb, I was not prepared that in order to make it numb, it was going to sting you. So I was not prepared for that. Gave me a little bit of mild panic attack there. And like I said, the foam doesn't taste great. Would I do it again? Probably not. Would I recommend it as a one and done? Yeah, I could see that. But like they said, the atmosphere was super cool there, and you get 45 minutes when you go in there. We did get a charcuterie board. I didn't see a
I didn't take a picture of it.
yeah, picture. I don't think we have a picture of that.
Good, though.
It was good. It's the most we've ever spent
was
for
great.
spam.
It was
Spam.
spam pork rinds.
Yep, spam and pork rinds. But they have some good sauces.
You think about it. For what we paid for that, we could have get 12 cans of spam and 14 bags of pork rinds.
But not
Sure.
sitting in Olga's canteen and hearing DJ Rex spinning it on the ones and twos.
But sitting in my toy closet, we could. It'd be the same thing.
And the power goes out, and Eric, of all people, when they ask, "Can somebody fix this?" goes, "Yeah, I can, because I'm an engineer." Gotta love it. But yeah, no, that was a great experience. The fact that, and so this was something that blew my mind. We're getting ready to walk in, right, to Olga's Cantina, and I'm wearing a shirt that day that's got Grogu on it, Baby Yoda, if you haven't kept up, but you know what the character is. And it says, like, I'm all ears or something like that. It was St. Patrick's Day this day, so we were all in green except for Dave.
I had a green mask and a green magic band. Get off it.
So, and as I'm walking in, the cast member that's at the door says, "And this gentleman had, he loves the lore of the great Master Yoda we hear stories of." And I'm like, "No, it's Grogu." And he's like, "I don't know who that is," but and I'm like, yeah, that part hasn't made it here yet. Like that's the cool part of the whole, the canon of it all and everything like that. And again, to anybody that's, I think I've said this already before when we start talking about the Rise part of it, is if you get a chance, do the audiobook, read it, however you got to do it. The Star Wars Galaxy's Edge book, it's, I think as an audiobook, it's right at 7.5 hours, 8.5 hours. So worth listening to because it makes the whole experience that much cooler.
It's called Black Spire.
I can't sit through 2 hours of a Star Wars movie, much less 8 hours of a book.
Whatever.
We can hear what you're saying.
Yes.
Like this.
So after Olga's, we are able to get on Smuggler's Run.
Just in time.
Did
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do Smuggler's Run, and then we canceled Kary's
Well, we
schedule several times.
Yeah.
I don't even know really what we did at this point, but I kind of told them I wasn't going to be able to keep my lightsaber appointment at what's the name of the place? It's blanking my mind. Bobby's, yeah. But we never canceled it, actually. I just told them, like, can we move it back a little bit or move it up a little bit? Because the idea was we were going to go to Epcot.
So we learned that if you are going to do that, they are super flexible.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So it's not refundable, but they're super flexible. So you're not losing money if you do miss it. You just
Smuggler's Run was dope. Our group of we did the guys group. So it was me, Eric, Dave, and James. Myself and James were the pilots.
you really do bad.
And James was a trooper. He couldn't get, like, I had to hit the button up. Belt was holding him down, so he couldn't. He was like, I can't get him, so I had to reach over and hit a couple buttons. But in terms of steering, like, he was good to go. I did the acceleration and the turn the thrust off there, but he steered us pretty well to a point. I think we got like 87% accuracy or something like that, which was
so we're going like 87% of our 100% damage or something.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, we didn't get damaged too much. So
like 14% or something.
It was easily the best Smuggler's Run ride I have ever been on.
Really?
Yes, because normally it's Ellie and you
I was sort of
driving.
say, because I can't say the same for our ride. We had Ellie and Nora driving, and that was easily the most turbulent ride I've ever been.
Not only in real life, but in space too, does the old adage stand true.
Ha ha ha.
I mean, he's not wrong. Okay, so after Smugglers was the main attraction.
This is where Michael first steps in. It's time.
Yeah. So
Stop.
To be fair,
to be fair,
Rock and Roller Coaster is a better ride than Rise of Resistance. The experience of Rise of Resistance is better.
you are dumb, sir.
Oh my goodness.
But
Okay.
Resistance, the whole thing, everything was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. It was
Yep.
phenomenal.
All right.
Roller
I'm
coaster.
gonna let y'all go. I've got to make a quick bio break. Amanda, you drive here and just talk.
You got a poo?
No.
It'll be a minute then, folks.
So
yeah,
this and he ain't gonna be here to drive?
so you walk through the caves and all that, getting through it, and then you finally. What's the first thing you come to? I guess where they take you into the ship.
Yeah, you go into the ship and then you get walk into the Star Troopers are standing there, and it's insane.
So you go to the ship. They hijack your ship. They bring you in with the tractor beam, and then now you're on the under the control of the First Order.
Which this picture right here, the best character by far we met the entire time. I mean. If she didn't have a mask on, she might have broke a smile. But I mean, you're talking about can stare daggers through you. This woman right here.
She reminds me of Nick's girlfriend.
No. I need my chair back.
No, too late. Sorry.
Ooh.
Stop.
Get in my chair. She's in my chair, y'all.
Easy, Sheldon.
That's my spot.
Hey,
Yeah,
wait.
I mean, but the whole
it's a very important story.
Of when you get when the tractor beam gets you, and then you're stepping onto the First Order ship, and then at that point you see all the stormtroopers and the big large screen with everything moving through space. That right there, I mean, you don't even want to keep up with your group that's getting ushered through, because you just want to stand there in awe the whole time.
Yeah, it really is. You lose yourself in that world. You really think you're on that ship. I mean, it's that kind of experience. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, Disney and Lucas, Films Arts. I'm not sure which one was a part of this. They did a fantastic job of super immersive experience that makes you feel like you have stepped off of Earth and into, this First Order ship. And like you're saying about, I believe her name's Case here. She easily the best cast member experience I've had. I don't go as much as the Adams do, but she made that whole experience a million times more than it ever could have been.
Absolutely.
Her name is Justine Chase, by the way.
Jason.
And Harper and James were terrified of her. They stood there and watched every move she made. She was very stern, but not in a bad way or off-putting way. She was just in character. But I was ready to take her with us the rest of the trip, because they stood there straight up and eyes forward. They listened to her.
So go to the next picture and then let me have my seat back.
Yeah, let's talk about what we should not do on this ride.
So let me have my seat back.
No, you sit there.
No, I need my seat.
So probably most parents tell their kids, when they're walking through airports or, stores or whatever, all right, we can look, but we can't touch.
Okay, so in my defense, the queue for Rise of the Resistance is made to have it's all these buttons, all these knobs, all these fun things that you can play with. And for the most part, in this spot, there are a lot of knobs. Brad, she is not to hold her ground. This is my show.
You should have planted a flag, Amanda.
I know, really.
But so there were these knobs and buttons and
that you should not push.
fun things right next to where he had me standing the first time.
I'm trying to get our children to behave and not push buttons. Meanwhile, this fool is over here pushing everything you find.
I'm like, oh,
pandemic where you shouldn't just be like touching things and
there's buttons. Let's see what these do. Well, apparently those are the buttons that control the ride.
Yeah,
So
he stopped the ride on somebody.
I stopped the ride for a few moments.
Or started it prematurely. We don't know.
Oops. But this guy, at this point, I thought I was getting thrown out of the park.
Yeah, we all thought that, actually.
I thought, holy crap, I am an AP, DVC,
Oh
all
my
this,
gosh.
these acronyms. I'm never going to be allowed back in this park. But he stayed in character. I'm probably not the first person to do it, but this guy comes over and just, reads me the riot act and talks to me.
Separates him from the group.
Yeah. And then Miss Chase over here.
Look at my face. I really think you're getting kicked out right there.
I mean, you can tell how much I'm laughing from this picture.
She is not laughing.
She is not, but she is perfect. And y'all, this is the best ride I have ever been on. And here you can see her looking up and down James and Harper.
Yeah, they weren't moving.
Yeah. So, okay.
Well, they did just see you get chewed out. So,
then you move into the ride, pushing rise. Absolutely. You move into the ride portion of it, and that's when, it all starts taking form. Going through, and I'm going to love to hear Eric and Amanda on this one who have never watched these movies, but going through, seeing Finn kind of hiding out, trying to help you escape and all this kind of stuff. And then you get to that moment and, here's a spoiler. So if you don't want to hear it, you get shot up the elevator and then, Kylo's there and he gets blown out the back of the ship or almost blown out the back of the ship with the wind going everywhere. And then that drop just comes, out of nowhere. But it's kind of what I said the last time. I feel like the kind of sudden elevator up was probably more surprising than the elevator down, because once you went up, you knew you were coming down. But,
See,
and I don't do drops at all. I hate drops. That's why I don't ride roller coasters. But I will say, Ellie was so sweet the first time I rode it to make sure to prep me and tell me exactly when we were dropping. And it's not a bad drop if you know it's coming. But it is a significant drop.
But the trackless system, all of that, it's a can't miss attraction. To me, it's the second best attraction on property. Again, Flight of Passage is still number one for me, but I had a thrilling time on Rise of Resistance. It was great. But for you guys who don't do Star Wars down there, I mean, was it something you could get lost in without knowing the story and still enjoy? Or was it, just another ride?
No, I mean, it definitely was an experience. I mean, like I said, I think the overall, you get immersed in that and kind of get lost in where you are. And even when you come outside at the very end, you're in still in that whole other world where you're just like, oh, wow, I'm still not in my own reality. I mean, so
did he just say a whole new world?
I would drop us if I could, guys.
I think I can do it.
And
no, you can't.
Not knowing the stories and not knowing anything going in and not understanding, it's a normal person can get on those rides and feel like they're part of something and understand what's going on. It's not you don't have to know anything about Star Wars to understand what's going on in that world. It is strange because they're talking in soliloquies and you don't understand what they're talking about sometimes. But and things happen, like in Olga's, when things happen, and who's that and what's that? Who's that person? Where's that person? Why is it called Olga's? I didn't know that stuff, and I didn't lose any. I didn't feel like I lost anything by not watching anything. Because I mean, if you've never seen Star Wars, period, you know what the Millennium Falcon is. You know who Luke Skywalker is. You know who Darth Vader is. You know who those people are. If you've seen Han Solo, so you know these things these things about Star Wars. Like I said, the marketing is phenomenal when it comes to Star Wars, but it's not. I enjoy the stuff of Star Wars rather than I don't care to watch the movies.
Yeah. Kary, I do want to know, what is your thought being in the room with two AT-ATs?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So it's a pretty early on moment in the ride part itself. Here's the other thing is, like, I avoided
an AT-AT.
It's at those walkers,
big walker things that we drove under.
Okay.
Yeah, AT-AT. Some people call them at, but they're AT-ATs.
Is that something from?
Star Wars? It's Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, that's something I haven't seen.
something you haven't seen.
Walking elephant-looking things, like
Yes.
next to a giraffe and elephant.
Yes.
Okay,
I remember that.
you walk way up the top.
So that's another part of it is like I avoided all of this, so I knew this was a long experience, but I thought
I didn't.
this whole time the ride was the long part, but it's that whole experience. So going through everything beforehand, the interrogation room, the ship beforehand, the tractor beam, all that kind of stuff. I didn't know anything about any of this, so this was all super immersive part of that. Then when you get on, and like I said, when you cruise up under that AT-AT, I mean, you're just like looking up and your eyes get super big. I mean, I think you were sitting behind me and Eric and James on this one. And I mean, you could probably hear me just go, holy crap. Like I was in it at that point.
Yeah.
The nerd level had reached its maximum potential at that point. So yeah, it's definitely, I mean, everything you can to get a boarding pass. It's a must do. I understand why people who live in Orlando and around the parks wake up in the mornings, try to get a pass just to go. And if they get a pass, they'll say, all right, I'm going to Disney today just to ride it. Because I mean, it is that awesome.
Yep.
So where do we head from here? I think we go and do
Tower of Terror.
Yep.
After lunch.
After lunch. Yeah. Hey, ABC Commissary coming up in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, big improvement.
But I will say this. If you're going to ride Tower of Terror, don't do it after lunch.
Yeah, that was probably a mistake.
I do want to hear. So, Amanda, you don't. I want to hear your reactions on Tower of Terror.
I've ridden it before.
Oh, had you? Okay.
So I've been to Disney like years ago and stuff, but yeah, I love Tower of Terror.
Unfortunately, we don't have this picture to show you.
Yeah,
I wanted it because Ellie and Nora were having so much fun, but it's not showing up in our system. And I emailed Disney and asked them why. They said, well, somebody's mask wasn't on properly. So we don't have this picture to show you, but we do have Rock and Roller Coaster to show you. Let me find it.
Fun, though. And
again, Tower of Terror is great.
The trooper he was, went full bore into it, and then hopping off, he's like, nope, not doing that again.
Nope. I read that. Oh,
I do want.
So hey, also we got to talk about this. So walking on a Tower of Terror.
Oh yeah, wasn't this where Amanda creates the huge distraction
backwards and knocks the chain to the door, and everybody freaks out?
I did not.
Everybody thought it was part of the show. And it was.
I thought it was part of the show.
And it was totally Amanda. So Nora didn't ride Rock and Roller Coaster with us, right?
Nope.
She did.
No, she did not.
She stayed with me.
Yeah, she stayed with you. And then we also have this picture to show you that we didn't talk about, but we did talk about how James will ride one thing once. Here you go. This is why Nora did not ride Rock and Roller Coaster, and this is why James did not.
Well,
James couldn't because he wasn't tall enough.
He wasn't tall enough.
Remember he started crying when we told him he couldn't ride, and he was like, "What? Like, no!"
Yeah.
He would have flipped out.
Oh, it would have been.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I don't even remember. I get in zones when I ride rides. I don't remember the song that was playing the entire time through there.
Oh, such a great. I sing the whole time, and Ellie hates it that I sing every song.
So I think I got the best deal of this because, and we haven't really talked about it, but we do use the DAS pass, to get on. And so we did a rider swap. Well, we didn't even do a rider swap. We just did the DAS pass. And because Eric stepped off when James couldn't ride, and he just stayed with James. So me, Amanda, Dave, and Ellie that went on. Well, that meant Nora and Eric and Double A and Harper didn't ride. Well, so we still had technically four uses on this ride. So after
remember
the first time,
they scanned James, so they didn't take us down to 3.
Oh, yes, they did scan James. Yes, we down to 3. So basically, Nora handed over her band, and Eric threw it on his wrist. I threw Eric's on my wrist because my wrist a little bigger than Eric's. Nora's wouldn't fit on me, and I got to ride it again.
Like that, and that was
back to back, and that
We're
was
not advertising that though.
not advertising that, but it happened. If things happen, they happen. But yeah, it was pretty awesome because the first time we rode in the back with the big 4 group of us, and
which is the best way to do it.
If you know roller coasters, that's where the momentum comes from. So it's a lot more G's are pulled back there. It's a more intense experience. And then when me and Eric got on it, we rode front row, of course.
And that's a tradition for me and Kary is mostly every roller coaster we ride together, we're going to ride the front.
Yeah. So
we rode
that was the first roller coaster me and Eric had ridden together in probably over
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Y'all did Everest together, didn't you?
Nope. I rode with Amanda.
That's right.
Me and Amanda were ride buddies a lot this trip, just because of the way things shook out.
Yeah, because James wanted to ride with me, like beside me on those rides. Like he was just every one of those rides he wanted to ride beside me because I don't know because he feels safe or he just thinks I'm not gonna lie to him and then he's full.
Yeah. But it was awesome. Loved it. And then, hey, too, this whole what was the Cars thing we did after Lightning McQueen's?
Yeah, they love that. Everyone else
awesome.
That's actually one of those. That's an underappreciated right there. I think
if you got the kiddos, even if you don't have the kiddos and you love some Cars, love some Pixar, like definite. You might wait 15, 20 minutes to get in for the show because of the social distancing right now. But it is a great way to sit down, kick your feet up, take a load off, and chill for 20 minutes and watch a really, really fun show. And easily the best animatronic in the entire.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty awesome. Yeah, the way they do that, it's like it's looks like a real car, like talking to you, and it blends seamlessly. That's what's crazy.
Yeah,
they had the screen set up on the mouth and the eyes; it just flows seamlessly.
So after that, Kary goes and gets his lightsaber. Kary, do you want to just quickly talk about Savi's? Because I've talked about it, but I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, Savi's super dope. If you're nerd enough and want to do it and spend the money, it's well worth the experience to do Savi's, from choosing at the desk, choosing which one you want to go with. I went with Elemental Nature.
Yeah.
I am a hippie at heart, so it only fit. So I went with Elemental Nature, and then walking into the room, and I think there's maybe 10 stations. I think is what it is,
something like that.
And the whole story and the experience and the music. I had literal chill bumps the entire time in there because of the way the story syncs with the music. They've got it down to a science. I even asked Dave after. I'm like, okay, so do they have a button to cue the music up at the right time that they're saying certain things, or are they so on point with the script that they know what they're doing? And like I said, chill bumps the whole time. And as you're walking through it and picking all the pieces out, it's a whole immersive experience, and you want to get it right in the way you want it. And then when they finally light the fuse per se, and you're able to pull the sword out and see everything.
Lightsaber. It's not a sword.
So when they light it up and you see everything, it's a really neat experience. Would I do it again? I would go in and watch somebody do it again.
I'd do it again.
I'm probably not going to pay to do it again. But it is well worth it for a one time to do and enjoy and just kind of do the whole experience. It's really fun.
I've got 2 lightsabers hanging up here in front of my TV in my podcast studios, and I need 2 more.
It's hella expensive.
Yeah. So, without saying, it's a 200 plus tax experience. And it's great quality. It's fun. The best part of it was later, I think, or actually at some point in that day, James got a toy lightsaber, not the movie quality that I got, but he got a toy lightsaber, and so the rest of the day he was just talking about us having a lightsaber battle and stuff like that. And so we had to wait a week to have it, but we finally had our lightsaber battle. So
I actually, give me a second. I'm trying to pull it up now.
might have the video from it, but
I have to get through all my dad jokes that's in our group.
Absolutely, 100%. Definitely recommend it to anybody who's thinking about it. Definitely do it. And again, they're super flexible on the whole thing, because I think originally our plan was to not go to Epcot. And we were even going to have dinner, I think, at 50's prime time that night originally. And we canceled that. My lightsaber appointment was like an hour before the dinner we were supposed to have. And so I was able to move it up about an hour and a half, and they were super flexible with that. So if you're going and you feel like it's going to interfere with something, just go talk to them. They'll get you sorted and get you taken care of. Yeah. So this is like a week later. At the porch of the Adams, where we are. Yeah, be careful over there. I can see all of Amanda's text right now.
Oh, who is she talking to? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Me and James having a lightsaber battle, and then of course Dave busts his out. So at this point, while I'm building that, y'all are taking the Skyliner to Epcot.
Yep. All right, we got to hurry this up because we've got a really long time. Epcot was fun. We did get to walk around the world. We ate some ice cream at
really good ice cream.
Really good ice cream in France.
Y'all didn't even get one.
Hey, you met us. You could have come and eaten. Ellie got to meet Alice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love how they're doing these social distancing meet and greets. Really cool. And then Nora got to, the kids wanted to take their picture with the Figment things. What is going on over there? Are y'all hearing these sounds, or am I the only one?
Just you, buddy.
Okay. Sorry, my computer went haywire.
Somehow the lightsaber battle came back.
Yeah. Of course, Harper doesn't take her picture very well. We didn't ride many rides at Epcot. We did get to ride Soarin'.
Living with the Land.
And Living with the Land, which
Nemo.
You see here, Nemo.
Hey, I enjoyed Nemo.
Nemo was great.
In a big blue world.
If you're wondering why we have so many pictures of Living with the Land, it's because I was taking pictures for work for a Deep Space Food Challenge that I talked about a couple of weeks ago on the podcast.
Hey, and there were some cool hidden Mickeys we saw throughout that one.
Yeah. Holy crap, Amanda.
Well, it was research for work for hydroponic gardening.
Okay. So this picture, I was trying, there's a guy behind me, and you sort of see him over Harper's shoulder, was falling asleep. Wasn't it? He was asleep on the bench or something.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get it, but it didn't work. Ellie has to always take this picture here. We did Soarin'. So let's talk about this, Eric.
He's back now.
Yep.
We got the best part of Soarin' too. We got to be in B group.
Yeah, if you are in Soarin', definitely ride B in the front.
So that Paris didn't have the leaning tower of
Eiffel. Yeah. So let's talk about dinner, Eric.
Hey, is this where three of us can step out?
Yeah, let's let AA and AT talk about dinner.
I mean, we were all starving.
Tell you what, here's the way it is.
No, let her talk.
I'm just gonna say we were all starving. This is one of the few character meet and greets that they have right now. We were in Soarin'. We used our DAS pass, so we had an hour before Soarin', and the wait here, the standby wait was an hour. So we decided to eat here because our original plan was to walk around the world and partake in the Flower and Garden Festival food, but with 4 kids. We were all dead tired. We'd been going since, like they said, 6:45 in the morning. So we were all, we didn't think that the kids would last to walk around the world and eat. So we went here. It's a buffet family style dinner. and the characters come around behind you now, and you get to see them. So yeah, that's what I will say about that.
It was fantastic.
Good harvest food, Thanksgiving meal, pretty much.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. Let's just say that. It was just the food. The food was not to the.
Put it this way: you don't choose what you eat.
Yeah. So if you're gonna eat there, just be. It is the only character experience on property, pretty much, for food. There, I think Crystal Palace had it.
No, not Crystal Palace anymore.
Chef Mickey's.
Chef Mickey's and the one at Riviera's got it too. But
so I mean,
only in a park.
Looking back on it, you know, the character experience when they haven't seen a character the entire time. You know, they haven't been that close to one hardly the entire time they've been there. Which during COVID times, to go to Disney, it is a sin and a blessing. It really has its perks, but it really has its negatives too. The character experience at Disney makes Disney, and that's what made it for us the first time we went. But this time, being able to get on rides and ride the rides and experience the rides were the biggest thing for this trip. But the first time I went to Disney was a character experience. It's seeing the characters up close and personal and them talking to them and all that. That's what you missed during COVID times. So to have this experience and to be able to have them, and they were excited every time they came around. Didn't matter who it was or what.
And or how many times they've been around.
How many times they've been around, which they came around in an hour's time, probably 7 or 8 times.
Chip and Dale probably at some point were like, these kids again?
Yeah, what the hell?
But you pay for the characters.
Is really cool too. But, and yes, Brad, the Farmer Mickey is pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. Him in his overalls, that's pretty awesome. And in that living of the land, in that you know revolving, it's very strange when you come to the very front and you're watching people walk by as you eat. That's weird to me. But the food is not phenomenal. The experience.
I actually like the food. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't mind the food. It was good.
The silver lining would be if they would have brought me another dessert, and they didn't.
You could have asked for more.
Yeah, he told you it was all you could eat dessert.
And he didn't bring me another one, and I asked for it.
Oh, well.
There's some silver linings, but, you know, like I said, the figure pitch of the week, it had been a long day, and it was what it was, and it happened, and it's never reason to talk about it anymore.
Yep. I will say I am a very
No, you're not.
It doesn't matter.
No. Y'all know on this podcast I'm a very strong personality. And then once you add my tiredness into it, my strong personality comes out even more.
So after this, we went to
Eric is also a strong personality. But that's
it's a matter of fact type personality. Like I get upset and I stay upset, and it's hard for me to not be upset, and then I get over it. So that's kind of how mine is. So I just gotta have my moment and then go.
That's all we gotta say about that.
So basically, our biggest meltdown of the week was not with the children. So it was with the dads.
So we went and rode Figment after this.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Figment's
still fun. Great ride.
That was actually really cool. Yeah, that was awesome.
I know why Adam loves it. It's still just a Facebook user.
I left them all hanging.
Who's the correct Facebook user there?
Yeah, we got to look here because strong personality equal cranky Dave. Yes, that is 1,000%
bingo to whoever that is.
The correct answer. The kids were asleep at this point, really.
Not really. They were still chugging along. I think it was very poignant and cool that we got to wrap the entire thing up with Spaceship Earth. I think that was a cool mark to end it on.
It was Brad.
Yeah. So I thought Spaceship Earth was pretty cool, even though we got stopped, I think, twice in it. The best part of all of Spaceship Earth was, so Dave rides with Harper, and during the selection of your video control and your sound control, she put it, I believe, in some form of Japanese or
Chinese.
Chinese. So she was in a Mandarin dialect. Yeah. So
ours didn't work.
Dave wanted me to recite what I was hearing the whole time to it. But let's talk about the improvements they've done real quick, just for half a second. You got to see Spaceship Earth at night. You got to see the new entryway with the cool new little, I don't know, what do you want to call them, the diamond structure things here they've got.
Right here.
Yeah, I mean it's picturesque. It's beautiful. The entryway with the flags, the LED boards. It's pretty awesome.
Are those colors new?
Yeah, that's all new.
The colors and everything.
Yes.
What color it used to be? White.
They used to light up the ball like that, but they didn't. They had all the obelisks, the Leave a Legacy things. And so with those gone, these little pyramids are amazing, or whatever you call them.
Mm-hmm.
It was like tombstone looking things almost sticking out of the ground with people's faces on it that donated money, including NSYNC. NSYNC was on there.
Yeah.
But doing the ball with the iridescent colors that everything is right now to match the castle and everything, they did a really good job with it.
Yeah, they did. Of course, the kids were all tired.
That Pluto hat, man, it's a champ.
James sleeping. I didn't realize she brought her blanket.
I didn't either.
That's when we were waiting out for the bus the next morning.
Yeah, that's the next morning.
Yeah. So this picture tells you everything you need to know about the day. Like Amanda said, AA said, we started at 6:45 the morning before, or that morning.
Show the one with all of us.
Well, look at Ellie's face.
Well, and Nora's still bouncing around at this point. Like
Yeah.
She doesn't. She's bouncing around. Like
there's all of us at the end. There you go. Look at all of it. We're just like, okay, I'm done. We're done. Let's go home. So
the picture with Nora, her hair was up in as Leia, and then at the very end, it was just kind of
no longer there.
No longer there.
I mean, Nora was
great picture right there. Yeah.
Those two pictures might be my favorite two pictures of the trip. Just because this is at 11 o'clock at night, guys.
Oh, she was still sprightly. She was good. Speaking of, she ran a mile today in 12 minutes.
Really?
8-year-old.
Oh.
Like an 8-year-old.
Impressive.
Pretty awesome.
I don't think I could do that right now.
Well, I couldn't. I was still run a mile, much less in 12 minutes.
So the next,
I was gonna say we go back to the villa, and we start chowing through some groceries because we can't take them back. So we're finishing off a little bit of food here and there, and then the decision comes: do you sleep or do you not sleep? Because we got to be back on the Magic Express at 3:30 the next morning. Mm-hmm. So I think everybody probably got maybe an hour to 2 of sleep.
Nap.
It was a nap.
Yeah. And then we're up and out to the Magical Express and to the airport and home. I think we were back in Huntsville by 8:30 Central. So to be home and in bed by 10 a.m. was great.
And then we slept for 24 hours.
Yeah, seriously. We slept for 24 hours, both of the girls included. It was crazy.
So keep in mind, this is a group of friends that we get together every weekend, whether it either be a Friday night or a Saturday night, sometimes both.
We're doing it twice this weekend.
And then we do, church on Sundays and, sometimes afternoon activities after that. So we're usually together a lot. So, it wasn't challenging because, we were around each other a lot. So I think we went into that and we were okay. I think if it's maybe we didn't hang out as much, some of the frustrations might have grown a little quicker, but I think
a little bit.
I think because we are around each other so much, any conflicts were squashed pretty quick. So it's fun to go to. I had a blast. I hope to do it again as soon as possible, truthfully. But any vacation really, just taking a vacation with your friends is a fun thing to do. So
it was definitely fun. We all had a blast. I think at the end of the day, kids had a great time. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, it was a lot of adult, more adult theme because of the fact of the characters, and it's more ride driven oriented, and so I don't think they missed out on anything. I think they enjoyed it thoroughly. Like they want to go back and do it again. We're probably looking at 2-3 year time frame, like every 2 to 3 years maybe for us, because that's a lot in one short time.
Not 2 to 3 times a year, just every 2 to 3 years.
Disneyland Paris next.
Yeah, we did start planning our next vacation probably with the same weekend. So when we got back, so that's a success.
I would say going forward, you need a week there and space out your park days.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
I agree.
Again, I think a 5-day type deal with a 2-day in between.
12 days.
So I will say this: the way AA and I always do it is we go for a week, and we'll probably do 3 to 4 park days.
Well, we go to a park every day, but we're done by lunch, and then we rest for half a day. So we do half a day at a park, have a nice lunch, or have a quick lunch, come back for a nap, mill around the pool, and then have a nice dinner instead of if we didn't have a nice lunch. So we do a park every day, but because we have annual passes, we don't have to worry about buying tickets for every day versus a couple of days. But we definitely get more rest time normally.
So I will say this: when we tell people we're going to Disney every other month, every 2 to 3 months, and we get this, oh my gosh, really? I get it now.
We could not go as hard as we went.
We could not
every time.
We could not do that because we were just beat the rest of the week.
Y'all wore us out.
We do. We go hard in the paint.
Yeah. You go Disney though. If you only do it like once every now and then, you gotta do it like that. I mean,
right? Oh, and I agree. I'm glad we were able to do it. That just made the trip even that much better. I do want to say this, guys. I know you're not going to be on the show next week, but I do kind of want 650 UAB show. I want either Amanda Terry or AA to call in and tell us your thoughts on New South Wrestling at Hanceville, Alabama on Saturday.
You not have like a special 30-minute or special 15-minute just snip in for next week or something?
We can do it if y'all have the time.
Yeah,
we can record it.
A 15-minute live on like Sunday after church.
Or no, we'll go live at the event. Go live at the event.
No, we can't. Do you not remember the signal in that place?
We'll
do it on the way home.
Yeah, because a lot of people are going to be tuning in at 10:45 at night.
Right. Are we all going to ride in the same car?
Yes, we can ride in the Explorer.
Yeah, we're going to get
off it.
We're going to get dinner before. Hey, so before we go, everybody made purchases there while we were there. So what was your favorite purchase you made while you're there? I'm wearing mine. It's my Pixar jacket hoodie thing. It's got the Pixar balls, and then it's got.
You've got a lot of wear out of that.
Oh, I love it. Well, because you guys keep it 49 degrees here at your house. So
it's not that cold here.
When you're in the igloo. When you're in the igloo down here, you have to. But it's got the Pixar logo. It says the World of Pixar. I eyed this jacket up at least, 3-4 times. And I was like, I got to get that jacket. And finally, we were coming out of Figment, I think. And I picked it up.
For Nemo.
Yeah, that's upstairs, though, Dave. That's upstairs.
It's 71 degrees in this household.
Upstairs.
We're in the cave right now. So,
yeah, Brad.
Eric, what was your favorite purchase? Whether it be for you or the kids.
The teal. Well, the kids was the Goofy. I mean the Pluto hat.
The Pluto hat.
Yeah.
That's got to be the best especially for him. I mean he rocked that all week. I like the teal Walt Disney World shirt that I got. I like the that's preference. But
you Amanda.
Oh, sorry. Amanda Terry, what was your favorite purchase?
Well, I didn't buy much, but I bought a gift. For, the Make-A-Wish True Blue mouse ears.
Okay.
I work for Make-A-Wish, so.
AA?
I got a pillow. What did he say?
She got a pillow, and I did not get a Funko Pop.
You have one coming Saturday. It's okay.
And there's like 2 boxes upstairs.
You got
But yes,
today.
Do what?
Yeah, Jordan one just the other day.
see,
Shut your
so
faces.
see, nice try. But yes, I got a throw pillow, so big shocker there. But it's a long lumbar top style pillow that says home, and yeah, it kind of looks like that. So it says home,
Right.
and the O is the Disney castle. So there's the Cinderella's castle. So that matches our sectional downstairs. It's my favorite for sure.
You know,
This is-
and I want to say too, Kary, you did phenomenal with the kids, by the way, because I think you gained a fan club.
Yep.
They
Oh
go,
my goodness, yes.
they go nuts for you every time. And I mean, I think you got your Uncle Kary status during that trip for sure.
Yep. You are very good with kids. Very good with kids.
But he does
I-
James more than the rest. He does have a favorite in James.
Yep. I do have to highlight this comment
Oh,
here
yeah.
from Brad. Love the trip report and all the pictures, but the look from Amanda AA taking the yo-yo from Dave was the highlight of the night for me.
I have to agree. It was pretty good. Dave, you got your coffee mug. That was pretty cool.
I got my coffee mug.
Yeah.
Oh, I did want to say that speaking of Kary being great with the kids, when we were so tired and going up to get on the wait list for Garden Grill, the lady looks at me and she goes, "Okay, 4 kids. How old are they?" And I just kind of give her like this blank stare. I can't even remember my own children's ages. And Kary just rattles them off in order. I'm like, yeah, what he says.
Not even my kids, but I rattle their ages off.
Yeah. So, guys and gals, I know this has been a long show, but I hope that you have enjoyed the trip report. I hope that you heard how much fun we had, rehashing the trip. Amanda Terry, thank you for staying awake. I know you've normally been asleep about 3 hours by now. But Kary, can I do my normal leaving thing with you? Do you remember the phone number?
Yeah, I know the phone number and I kind of know his spiel to an extent.
Okay. So, Kary, if they want to get a hold of the show, what is the phone number that they would call?
Yeah, guys, we love when you interact, and we will play your message every single time you call, no matter what it is, as long as it fits the guidelines. That's 650 UAB show. You'll call in, you'll hear a little message from me, and then you'll hear the beep. And yeah, we'll love to share it every single time with you. Dave, where can they find us on socials?
So if you are on the Twitters, I am at DAdams419. He is at Run Tide Run.
Yeah, not
No.
no. But do follow Run Tide Run. He posted some pictures of his kids cooking the other day, and I commented that looked pretty awesome.
There you go. Run Tide Run on Instagram and Twitter. I am also DAdams419 on Instagram and Twitter. The show is at Not Related Bros on Twitter. On Instagram, we are at Unrelated at Birth. Kary, what is your Twitter and Instagram if they wanted to follow you?
Don't follow me on Twitter, but you can follow me on Instagram at LoneyK.11. That's me. And you can find me on Facebook, Kary Loney. I'm commenting in the Unrelated at Birth fan group, sibling group, whatever it's called.
Facebook listener group.
Yeah, there you go. I'm constantly in there, so check me out. All that good jazz.
You don't want them to follow you on your wrestling Twitter?
You don't want to do that.
Still don't have a reputable Twitter account or Instagram.
Yeah, the Terrys over there are not social media people.
Live a girl life. How about that?
Do what?
Live a girl life. How about
I
that?
go to bed at 8 o'clock.
Double A, you already know about her NASA stuff, Centennial Challenge, follow all that fun stuff. We might actually get her on just to talk about Centennial Challenge on Unrelated at Birth.
We'll see.
There are some new...
You talked to
Do what?
somebody really cool like in the last day or two?
Nope, not that I can talk about.
Oh, never mind.
There are some new things coming down the pike with Unrelated at Birth. We will talk about that next week when Adam joins us again. Also, unrelatedbirth.com, Unrelated Birth, Facebook.com/Unrelated at Birth. Join the Facebook fan group. Patreon.com/unrelated birth. And guys, we say it every week. Thank you so much. Y'all just spent 2 hours with us tonight. We appreciate it. We love you guys. That is not just cliche. Kary, take them home.
Thanks, guys. We love you, but not as much as Jesus does. God, what does he say next? We'll catch you.
Be kind to each other.
Kind to each other, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. All right, guys, we are not going to do our end thing. This has been a long show. I've got to get to bed. Double A is our AT is about to fall out. I can already tell. So guys, we love y'all. We will talk to y'all next week. Adam says, Kary, that wasn't half bad.
I tried. I couldn't remember all of it. Like I thought I nailed it.
He's almost there too, just like Adam's, like almost the same way. Like, he said it almost the same cadence, but I was actually pretty impressed.
Yeah, I was too. It's guys, we love y'all. We will talk to y'all next week. All right, we love y'all, but not as much as Jesus does. Be kind to each other, and we will see y'all next week.
I kind of had it there. Yeah, I was almost there.
Yeah, I was going to see if Eric would do it, but I kind of wanted to hear him stumble through it because he doesn't make it this long usually.
Me either.
Amanda, you don't even watch 99% of the time.
Ask Amanda. I told her what his tagline was earlier already, so I knew the tagline.
Oh, well,
Which is Jesus does.
Well, I should.
Even though I don't watch, you still make us listen to yourself every week.
Hey, okay. So real quick before we head out, so we're putting our girls to bed, and we told them that Amanda was going to be on the show. So don't wake us up. Don't try to get out of bed. Blah blah blah. Ellie, and full Ellie glory. Daddy, what are y'all going to talk about?
Deer in headlights. We're like, oh.
We can't say we're talking about the Disney trip because you would be mad you're not on the show.
Nora was already saying, she goes, what if I just wake up? Wake up and just stumble in.
Hey, how many teeth does Ellie have now?
Not many. She's
not
like
many.
A little Coleman County right now.
I didn't say that.
I can say that.
She's down.
She
3
lost
teeth.
3 in 1 week.
It's amazing. Are you guys? Or is the Tooth Fairy broke yet?
Yes.
Tooth Fairy doesn't carry cash anymore, man. Like you got to be prepared for that stuff these days.
That's why the kids need like PayPal and Venmos and Cash Apps so they can just get, That's how.
Definitely not going there.
That was a good picture, though. That was a really good picture.
Thanks. Yeah.
She was so proud of having her hair curled.
She was. It was picture day yesterday. So we curled her hair, and she kept saying, "I love this hairstyle."
I went and watched my 6-year-old niece last night play softball. She went 3 for 3 with 3 singles and 3 RBIs.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Hey, Brittany Honecker, 3 in 1 week. Haley's been asking every day when she will lose her first 2.
Oh, bless her. Ellie was like losing
Don't
hers.
traumatize with the first one.
Yeah. Kary got to see how Ellie acts when she pulls teeth.
Well, what's crazy about it is it was like a scene out of a horror like murder movie. The first one, and then 2 days later, she's up in the living room like pulling her own tooth out. I'm like, what in the world is going on?
Did she just sit through this 2 hours just so that she has to put up with Friday night?
Yep. So Brittany's going to come hang out with us this Friday night. Brittany, I apologize.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
This is how we are. Sorry.
2 hours of this, 3 hours on a Friday night. You'll be good. You'll be good.
Hey, she says can't wait. She's a glutton for punishment then.
Maybe I'll have a teammate for a game finally.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we will. We'll have
Are you ditching us? We always win together.
But I have to have both of the Amandas.
That's true.
So it's really not fair to Eric and Dave.
It's not.
Really not.
It's really not. We fight at Disney. We fight when we're playing cards.
We are an old married couple.
Well, we have found out that Double A and Eric are the same person, and me and Amanda Terry are basically the same person.
I hover in the middle.
You just guys. Poke the bear.
that's all I do really is poke the bear on both sides.
And then referee
Yeah.
on the back end.
That being said, both you guys have Funko Pops arriving Saturday. I'm out of here.
And Kary's uninvited.
You're out.
Guys, we love y'all. We'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.
Yeah. That 7